Let's talk about something better. Something exciting. Diablo 2. All right, look, I don't know how many gamers are out there, but this may be one of the best games ever made. I mean that. I mean that 100%. If you have never had the chance to play this game, I'm very excited for you. Diablo 3 sucked compared to Diablo 2. Diablo 2 had PvP. It had invasions. It had an incredible item system. It had you wanting to keep playing to find that better item, the better role. All right? It had a community. It had a public chat. It had, it's just everything that you want in a online multiplayer co-op system. It had it. It was amazing. I used to run a clan. In Diablo 2. I loved Diablo 1, by the way. I was a huge Diablo 1 fan. So Diablo 2 Resurrected is now I have an article that really sums up what it's going to be, but I'm a little sad because I was playing Path of Diablo. I don't know how many people were playing Path of Diablo. Yes, I know people are starting to complain about Blizzard, and Blizzard is, they have really gone downhill. They laid off 167 people, and they gave their CEO a $200 million bonus. Okay? Now, I'm not here to talk about Blizzard, okay? I know that's a terrible situation. Whatever. All right? I want to talk about this game. Diablo 2 Resurrected. Okay? Because this game, it really is insane. You can actually go and opt in to the technical alpha. Obviously, I have definitely done that, because if I could get into the alpha, I would definitely do that. I would be very excited about that. But let's talk about what's new, what's staying the same in the remaster. Excuse me. God, people love their puns, don't they? The devil's in the details. Anyway, this is not a remake, says Rod Ferguson, who's been in charge of all things Diablo at Blizzard since early 2020. He's talking about Diablo 2 Resurrected, a new remaster announced at BlizzCon. It's been rumored for years, and here it is at last, coming out on PC and consoles later in 2021. There is a spiffy new 3D graphics and some modern conveniences in Resurrected, but expect it to feel a whole lot like Diablo 2 released in 2000, because it pretty much is. Good. We're not trying to reverse engineer the game and build it from scratch to look like Diablo 2, Ferguson says. This is Diablo 2. This is the same core gameplay, the same story and tone, very important. Even the same voices of the same actors. Awesome. There's a lot of new in Diablo 2 Resurrected, including the 3D engine, Dolby surround sound, and the conveniences of a shared item stash and integrated Battle.net friends list. Below, we've gathered up everything we know about Diablo 2 Resurrected, including details on the alpha, release, date, and what Blizzard is changing. So all we know is 2021. So it's not, they haven't released anything, so it's coming this year sometime soon. And then, of course, as I mentioned, you can sign up for the technical alpha, and let me just give you that website. It is just diablo2.blizzard.com/en-us/#masthead, and that will, you could just go to blizzard.com and just click games Diablo 2, and it brings you to this page. So anyway, so the classes, it's going to start with all the classes that came with all the DLCs, because originally the Necromancer and the Assassin were not in the game. So it's just going to come out with all of them. It's going to be $40 on PC, 3D graphics, and Dolby 7.0. A whole new graphical engine, which Blizzard takes pains to point out uses physical-based rendering and entirely new animations, models, and textures and visual effects. Basically, all you need to know is it's in 3D and dynamic lighting will gel with new models. Expect 4K and high refresh rate support. Not only that, they actually made 3D everything. So every single item that you remember now has its own. There was, I think, like 4 or 5 different sprites for all the rings. Okay, but now every rare stone ring of Jordan will have its own like beautiful 3D rendered sprite. It's going to be beautiful. The surround sound mastering is new, but the sound effects themselves are not. We're taking the atmospherics in the world up so you can hear the wind blowing through the streets and rustling in the jungle, Ferguson says, but we're not changing those iconic sounds, like placing a skull into a socket or putting a potion in your belt. The things you have those Pavlovian response to, knowing it's Diablo 2. Those are the sounds you're going to hear. Shared stash, this is huge. I believe Diablo 3 had this and Diablo 2 didn't. So you'd have to get a buddy to come in. Well, in Path of Diablo, the world would stay open, but you drop all your stuff on the ground, go get a mule character or your alternate whatever, your Amazon or whatever your other character you're trying to outfit, and then pick up all the items or have them carry them for you. It was a system. But now, say goodbye to mule characters. You'll now have a shared item cache to use between multiple characters, so you won't need to devote other characters to the task of schlepping and storing gear. Yeah, you will. You're not gonna just hold the stash. They're gonna be the stash. You don't. If you think you got rid of mule characters for Diablo 2 players, come on, Blizzard, you've already lost the plot. Anyway, it's probably the biggest quality of life change over the original game, but why didn't you increase the inventory stash? Come on, Path of Diablo did that. It was amazing. It's going to be hard to go back to the small inventory menu. You guys know what I'm talking about. You didn't really have a lot of space when you're out adventuring. I guess we'll just have to use town portals a lot more. Auto looting and other QOL upgrades are optional. Auto gold is a feature we've added so that you can turn on or off. It's amazing, actually. You don't have to pick up gold. You just walk near it and it automatically picks it up. That's pretty great. Let's see here. Says principal designer Rob Gallerani, who works at Vicarious Visions, a studio now under the Blizzard umbrella. If you want to pick up gold by clicking on it, you can still do that. If you want to run over it and pick it up, you can run over it. There are new hotkeys. There is an auto party system for automatically joining games and automatically inviting people over to your game, but it's optional. If you want to type PP in chat the old-fashioned way, you still can. That is a small PP, by the way. Completely, this is cool. I'm actually kind of excited about this. Completely remade cutscenes. This is the one place where Diablo 2 Resurrected actually is a remake. The cutscenes have been completely redone rather than upscaled from the original files, but with involvement from people who worked on the cutscenes back in 2000. We wanted to take this really dramatic story and take all 27 minutes of cinematics and remake them from scratch with modern technology and CGI, says Ferguson. So it's going to look fantastic. But again, same performances, shot for shot. If it cut from one scene to another in the original, it's going to cut at that moment in the remake of those videos. So I'm really stoked about that because that means it's going to look beautiful. So it's going to be this game that I know is incredible. The game is insanely amazing. I'm very excited about playing it again. I dabbled it a little bit last year. It's really fun, but to know that it's going to be beautiful and new players are going to come in that's never played it before and have access to such a good game, I'm very excited about it. Let's see, modding. Here's important. There are 20 years of Diablo 2 mods out there at this point, and Diablo 2 Resurrected will still allow modding, but it won't work exactly the same way since modern Battle.net.com .net is stricter and more secure. Gallerano pointed to .dll injections as something that you could do with classic Diablo 2 that you can't do with Diablo 2 Resurrected. However, he also said that many parts of the game that were once required those kind of invasive mods to modify have been shifted to easily modifiable data, so modders will still be able to access them despite Battle.net's tighter security. Battle.net friends list, dedicated servers, and security, Gallerano says Blizzard is actively discouraging exploits like item duping and botting, things the modern Battle.net clients help prevent. It also offers the advantages of just being able to click on a friend's name to invite them without typing in an IP address or scrolling through a list of game lobbies. Hosting games now means you're hosting a dedicated Battle.net server for people to join. I wish this was cross-platform, but it's cross-progression. Diablo 2 is being released for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, and Blizzard is supporting cross-progression with PC. I asked with consoles, but Ferguson said it's still in discussion. The smart money says Nintendo and Xbox are locked down, but Sony remains up in the air, as usual. Controller Sport is there on PC, and it is a fully separate game. So Diablo 2 Classic remains untouched, and Diablo II Resurrected is a separate game. The multiplayer ladder board is now global, but how everything works will be mighty familiar. And then Blizzard added a colorblind mode. Nice. That's me, this guy. And low vision mode, and made changes to how text is displayed to make it more accessible. Blizzard also pointed to controller support as beneficial for accessibility. Yeah, I'm really hyped about this. So they then talk about you can actually switch between the new 3D model and old 2D. So you can actually just go to old school and see it how it is, and then switch to the new 3D, which is very cool. Not that I would ever go back to that. All right, now the inventory size. Blizzard considered changing this as a modern quality of life, but decided against it. No, why? One of the things that's really different in D2 compared to the contemporary is you're not pulling 70 weapons out of your backpack at any point in time, Ferguson said. You had a very limited inventory, and we've had lots of discussions about it. Should we increase the inventory size? It's one of the places where we felt that was a bridge too far. It was a part of the makeup of the game, the fact that you collect charms to make your character stronger, but are eating up your inventory space. It gives you more tension of, do I want that plus 15% magic fine at the cost of 3 slots of my inventory space? Those were interesting and meaningful decisions while you're playing. The idea, well, this would be great for quality of life, became, no, we're actually breaking the game mechanics. No, you're not. See, Path of Diablo actually fixed this because charms would only work if they were in the lower part. So you would have your charm space and then your weapon space. They missed it. They missed it. They don't call it seasons. They still call it ladders. And then we still got the chat lobbies, which is huge because the chat lobbies were really cool. I'm really excited about this. Diablo 2. I love this game. I'm really looking forward to streaming it. You know I'm going to be streaming it. Hopefully, I know my boy Shinra, who I was playing with last night, he actually just got Discord connected, so we're actually going to be able to chat while we're playing tonight. It'll be a nice little improvement of quality there. But yeah, really excited about playing this game. And then, of course, Diablo 4 is coming. I don't know how many people have seen the Diablo 4 stuff. Very, very hyped about this. We got the Barbarian, the Druid, the Sorceress, and then what is this person called? I don't remember. Oh, that's the Sorceress. Is it Rogue? Rogue, that's it. That's the 4th. And it looks like they've got maybe one more that they haven't released, maybe a Necromancer of some sort. Man, but I'm really excited about Diablo 4 because they basically said that they're going to go back to the feel of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. Because Diablo 3 was essentially World of Warcraft Diablo. Like, it just looked cartoony, and the game has got to be really good for me to play it and want to continue playing it if it's cartoony. Now, don't get me wrong, I played Diablo 3 and I loved it, but I never continued to play it. I haven't played Path of Exile, but I do want to check that out.